Hi guys, today I'm going to cook roast chicken. It's one of the things that we cook every single Sunday. Join me now. We need a whole chicken, and I have chopped the carrots, and we need some onion, and because I don't have a big onion, so I have 3 little onions and 2 bay leaves, 1 whole garlic, 1 lemon washed, and some rosemary. My rosemary looks a bit sad today, but usually dry, fresh, if it's okay. First of all, you put your carrots in a container along with some onion. I will save 1 of these for later, and 1 bay leaf, 1 rosemary. Chop the garlic to half, but chop it this way. Just be careful with your hands so you can see the beautiful pattern. You put it side down, the reason being is so that it doesn't burn. The next thing is we add olive oil, just any olive oil will do. Drizzle through. Salt. Pepper. And some Italian herbs, or just mixed herbs. Sorry, this one's new. Okay, mix well. Try to keep the garlic in the middle and side down, so that, because the chicken will sit on top, so it doesn't get burnt. Okay, so the vegetable is prepped. Now we have to prep the chicken. We have a whole chicken here. First of all, chop this to half. You put the remaining bit of onion in it, along with other herbs. And try to put them, sort of stack them up, so you can leave a little bit of space. Right, so that's beautifully stuffed, you can see. And try not to leave the lemon this way because it will burn, so leave it with the inside out. Okay, next thing is we just carefully put the chicken on top. Right, let me just get rid of that. Okay, so the next thing you do is you put olive oil all over, salt all over, be generous, pepper, lastly mixed herbs or Italian herbs. So now the chicken is ready to go to the oven. One of the key things I think to cook a very juicy chicken is not to preheat the oven. Most people say preheat the oven for 10 minutes, but my trick is not to, because this chicken is from the fridge in the normal temperature. If you suddenly go into 180-degree oven, you will burn. So I normally put in a cold oven. So this chicken will take an hour and a half. What I do is I will add 10 minutes because I didn't preheat the oven. So now we are going to put in the oven. Turn to 180. I cook them every 30 minutes, but because I did not preheat the oven, so the first 30 minutes will add 10 minutes will become 40. So we'll check the chicken again in 40 minutes. So while the chicken is in the oven, we are prepping the potato. I like to keep the skin on. I really scrubbed the potato in the sink, and so they are all nice and clean. And then I will chop them in a way that the back of it has some skin. So when they are roasting, there's only one side is touching the pan. Can you see? So everywhere else you will have air surround them to cook them nicely. So the way I chop it is I chop like that, at the ends like that. If it's a big potato, you chop it to half. You chop it to a third or quarter, depending on how big or small you want your potato. So now every piece of potato at the back of it is a skin to protect. On the top, obviously the inside of the potato is exposed, so that's a part that we aim to make it crispy. And then the next thing is we are putting it into a cold water pan. Cold, not boiled. Okay. And we lightly salt water. Gas up. The trick is to cook the potato. The trick is don't boil the potato. You get the potato out the moment the water starts bubble. We'll show you in a minute. It takes roughly about 4 to 5 minutes depending on the pan, the size, and how much water you have. Here it's just about to boil, so I'm going to take it out in the next 30 seconds or so. The reason being, we use cold water instead of boiling water. Is cold water will cook from inside out, and boiling water will cook from outside. But because the potato is very starch-based vegetables, so if you use the boiling water to cook it, the outside will become quite mashy, which is not what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to make it quite crispy. So in another few seconds, I think it will be ready. So it's not boiled, but it's about to boil. So you can see the bubble coming up. So now it's the right time to turn off the gas. So I just drain it quickly. You can see still quite firm from outside, still quite dense. So that's perfect. Now all the potatoes are on the pan, and the next step is we just season them. Olive oil all over, salt,
hungry hands,
pepper. Next thing is to get your hands dirty. Really, really, really try to mix them up well. Every side, particularly the exposed side. Mix them well. Okay.
They're not cooked yet.
next thing is to arrange them. To make sure that the skin side is at the bottom. Okay, just very roughly try to keep them quite evenly distributed. Some of them like this, they won't stand up, but that's okay as long as it's the skin side that's touching the pan, that's fine. So now you can see on the top, all the potatoes been coated with salt, pepper and oil. So they should be all crispy. Now it's ready to go into the oven. Chicken. Now going down to the final 30 minutes. It's all beautiful. Last waiting. Okay, last 30 minutes is done. This is the chicken. This is the roast potato. I'll probably give it another couple minutes. Because some of them are more brown than the others. For it to rest for 10 minutes while I'm doing the gravy and vegetables. So vegetables doing nicely, and potato will be done in 2 minutes. Potato is done. Time to plate it. See, that's the back of the skin. It doesn't stick to the pan, but the top is all crispy. Last thing, the very last thing you do is put more salt all over. Voila! Roast potatoes made. Enjoy!